Next slide, please. Now we'll have a master class by Yashodai on Porsche at work. Next slide, please. Yashodai is a Porsche consultant. She is the founder and director of FSI Training Services Private Limited. She helps companies provide a safe working environment to their employees, and safe employees are happy employees as per her. So her mission is to make India a harassment-free country by 2030. She has 12 years experience in IT and training industry and has trained about 10,000 people so far in various domains. Her favorite domains are laughter yoga, business communication, Porsche and Porsco, and having impacted lives of every client handled so far. She's happily contributing in forums like the Rotary, the Inner Wheel, TLC, and BNI. She's married to Mr. Madhubalan for 8 years and has a 3.5-year-old baby called Vemba. She strongly believes if you desire something from the bottom of your heart, the entire universe will conspire to make it happen to you, by Paul Coelho. So you can reach Yashodai at Yashodai Madhubalan at LinkedIn. Next, so over to you, Yashodai, for the presentation.
Thanks, Renal, for that wonderful introduction. So I'll share my screen here. Okay, great. To start with, I will be giving 3 examples. Okay, let me just make it as a PowerPoint. Just a minute. Yeah, I'm doing that. Great. So yes, I'll be giving 3 examples or 3 stories here in varied quarters, and I would select one volunteer from this group, and I'd like you to tell what would you have done if you had been in that place. Okay, it's very simple. I'll give you one example in each area, and I'll let you be one of the participant or one of the role player, and how will you react if you were in that position. Number one, I'm going to speak about unprotected environment. So when I say unprotected environment, uh, the example goes like this. I was traveling in a cab to my office. That was 1.5 hours journey, and I had a male employee sitting next to me who was just falling on my shoulder in the name of sleeping. So I did wake him up and told him that, boss, you're just falling on me in the name of sleeping. So kindly can just sit properly. So he apologizes for the act, and then again after 10 minutes he dozes off once again, and he's like he pretends as if he is sleeping, and he's just on my shoulder once again. So I again wake him up and I tell him, can you please sit properly? You are again leaning on my shoulder. So this time again he says sorry, and he just moves towards the window. Now what he does is, in the name of sleeping, he just folds his hands, and with his fingers he's trying to touch my private parts. Okay, so again this time I'm not telling him anything. Instead of that, I'm having my bag in between both of us, so that there is no further issue from him. So if you were a co-passenger in the cab, okay, if you were a co-employee, I would like to hear the perspective of Bhaskar sir here. If you were my co-employee who is traveling along with me in the cab, would you have reacted to such an incident? You're seeing a girl asking other male employee to sit properly, not once, not twice, but thrice. Okay. So what will be your reaction? Will you speak out there, or will you be a silent observer?
You are asking me, madam?
Yes, Bhaskar sir.
Okay. First of all, if I observe everything, I can confidently ask that person, you are doing not a good thing, so better you get down from the vehicle. But if I not observed all the things, I am not in a position to make any comments on this.
Okay, okay. Thanks a lot, Bhaskar sir, for that perspective. So in fact, I will tell my real experience what happened. No one in the cab spoke on behalf of me. So not even the driver, he didn't even ask what happened, ma'am. Why are you saying all this to another employee. There was nobody to speak over there. So it clearly shows how that environment was unprotected for a female employee over there. Moving on to next subject, unspoken topic. Okay, I again receive a message from a strange person in my mobile. I don't respond to that message because it is from a stranger. And apparently, one day after my birthday, I receive a message from that number wishing me belated happy birthday. So this gave me a feeling that maybe this person is somebody known to me. Okay, and I have not saved that number. So I'm starting to build up a conversation with him, and I end up finding out that he is a stranger who wants to be friend with me, though knowing that I'm a married person and all. He still wants to be friend in the sense, not a normal friend, but he wants to be more than that. And he likes talking to me and blah blah blah. So all these messages he is sending to me in the chat. I'm just telling him again that, see, I don't like this. I'm already a married person, so I don't want to speak to you like this. So kindly refrain from messaging me. So that's what I give out a message to him, for which there's no response from him. And again I receive forward messages which are unwanted. Okay, so I take this information to my manager, who is a male. I tell him all the incidents, and I also discuss this with a female manager from another team. Okay, Meena ma'am, if you were a female manager to whom a person is coming and giving such issue, what would be your reaction?
My reaction will be, first and foremost thing, I will check out the whole numbers and I will report it to the cyber first.
Okay, great. That's really great, ma'am. That's very proactive of you to have thought to report this to cybercrime. But then
Yes.
when I reported it to my manager or the female manager, both of them said, we are not able to find this number in Truecaller. So better you block it so that you don't receive any message, and kindly ignore
That
what
is
has happened.
secondary. Blocking we can do it. That is secondary. Straight away we must call, because all facilities are there in the cyber. Because I faced this, that's why from my experience I am telling. After that
Great.
we can block it straight away.
Lovely, ma'am. Though blocking is an option, okay, but then if they had known about Posh very well, they would have directed me to the ICC team. That was my expectation there. But then since this topic is not much spoken, or people are not getting trained enough in the company, despite of having all the e-modules and all the e-learning modules that are there in the big IT companies, okay, even managers are not aware how to react to such situations. Okay, now the third scenario, I'm getting a message in the FB Messenger with a female ID, again that is unknown, so I'm not responding to her. After some days, she's saying that this very important thing I have to discuss with you. So then I respond to her, and she's telling that one of her friends, he just talks about me when he is drunk. He takes my name in his sleep. He is working in the same organization as I'm doing. He knows that I'm married and he is also married, but still he has some liking towards me. So this is something very disturbing. This message is very disturbing, and I tell that girl, can you please reveal who is the person, because I have been facing similar issues twice before, once in the cab and once in the normal mobile message. So she doesn't disclose the identity, and she just tells there is some person whom you might have seen, he is in your same office. That's the only thing I'm knowing. So when I tell this to my family member, he's like, maybe you would have, okay, I'll not reveal what is the answer from him. Okay. Now I'll want Venkat sir.
Yeah.
Just a moment. So Venkat sir, if I had told you this situation, okay, the messages that are going on Facebook, sorry, what would be your reaction, sir?
See, first I will identify who's that person. If possible, I will report to a cyber crime first, because that's the first step where they can help us to track and trace the IP address from where this message is being sent. Okay, at times it may be from out of city, out of state, or out of country also many times. Okay, if that is the case, the best way is, there are now these days all social media applications are giving lot of security tools. Even recently Facebook has given an option of locking your profile. So we can take that step cautious, ensure that we don't get into a communication with an unknown person who is not in our friend list at all. See, that's the best thing which I do.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Venkat sir, for that response. But the response that I received from my family member was, you might have spoken to some person in a very friendly manner. That is the reason you are getting such messages. So I didn't want to discuss this topic further with my family member, and I stopped it there. So there it goes as unheard voice. My voice was not heard there. So maybe if the person had told me that this is some serious issue that you must complain to your HR or somebody in the office, and if he had known about what is POSH and he had educated me to complain in the ICC committee, definitely it would have taken a different scenario. So these were the 3 different scenarios that we wanted, that I wanted to discuss. And this implies why you should know about POSH. Even if you are not an employee, you can direct anybody who is facing such issues to the right person and the right place. Okay, so there are various myths about POSH. I'd like to take you through that. So POSH creates unnecessary troubles in workplace. This is what I heard from a hospital owner when I was approaching him for having POSH awareness program. He was like, we're all fine and everybody is having a good relationship here. If we introduce POSH, then definitely there would be some unwanted complaints. So that is how people think. But then people don't think that how somebody can also give a I mean, they don't think how somebody can also not come out because of the fear that it might not be heard properly. Then POSH is woman biased. Definitely it's not woman biased. Even men have equal chance of speaking when it comes to POSH committee. POSH is applicable only for female employees. There's one more thing I hear from lots of people. Once again, this is not only for female employees. So POSH paves the way to create an ASH policy, anti-sexual harassment policy, that is gender neutral. Many people think that we can handle any issue within our office itself, but that is not the case. If these issues goes out of the office, then definitely your brand image is at stake. People say that we just have 15 employees. We are very small in number and we don't need POSH. Again, that is not a case. If you have more than 10 employees, you have to go for POSH irrespective of gender. It can be only male-based organization or female-based. You definitely need to have POSH company. Okay. So now a question to all of you over here. Do you want to be a part of harassment-free India? Great. Great, Venkat sir. So can I see the responses in chat box? Great. I'm seeing lots of yes and I in the chat box. That's really great. So here are the 6 ways how you can contribute to the harassment-free India. First thing is, I will be sending ebook to each and everyone in TLC. Kindly go through my ebook on POSH and be equipped yourself with what are the various criteria and how it needs to be reported when it comes to POSH. Educate your family and friends on POSH by sharing this ebook or directly telling what are the various important things they have to keep in mind. Then I'll be organizing a free webinar on Jan 23rd, 5 to 6 p.m. to give more details on POSH. So if you are not able to read the ebook, then definitely you can attend my free webinar wherein I'll be telling you lots of details on POSH. You can also arrange for sessions in your flat, associations, or networking forums, wherever you feel this topic can be given a shot and wherever you feel that there are target employees who can go through this. And you can also introduce me to your HR friend or client who works or owns a company having more than 50 employees. Great. So this is my ask from all of you. Yes, any questions?